All right. What's good, Livewire sports media fans? Today I got some breaking news out of the world of college football. Now, usually I would do other sporting news, my commanders and stuff, but right now this is very, very important. Um, Nick Saban, the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, has retired. Didn't see this coming, didn't expect this was coming, but in all actuality, it makes sense because Nick Saban has been with Alabama over 17 years. He's won 6 national titles with Alabama. Um, he's been one of the most polarized figures in college football. I actually can't see anybody else taking his spot, really bringing Alabama back to relevancy. You actually could have seen the decline of Alabama the last couple of years. You know, being in the playoffs, getting knocked out the playoffs, and then this year they got knocked out by Michigan, um, which I felt like Alabama shouldn't have been there. It should have been Florida State because Florida State's quarterback Travis Jordan got injured. They allowed them to put Alabama in after Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC title game. But nevertheless, Nick Saban is 72 years old. Um, he led Alabama to 3 national titles in the BCS era and 3 in the college football era. They went toe to toe with Clemson back to back 2 different years. he had four. He actually had four players in Alabama to win Heisman Trophy. That's Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, um, believe Devontae Smith, if I'm not mistaken, and it's one more other person that I haven't. I think it's Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver. But I believe either one of the wide receivers was the ones that win it. And there's one more person I can't think off the top of my head. But Nick Saban, who don't know Nick Saban's past or what he has done in the world of college football, well, Nick Saban started his career at Toledo. He spent 1 season there in 1990. Then he went on to spend 5 seasons at Michigan State, and then another 5 at LSU, where he won his first national championship with LSU in 2003. Then he briefly jumped to the NFL and led the Miami Dolphins for 2 seasons before landing with Alabama um, in 2007. Now we all know that his he left the Miami Dolphins because he could not grasp the NFL at the time. Now, if he had came back later on, I think he would have been like Pete Carroll, was able to grasp the NFL. And also, people always say that Bill Belichick and Nick Saban are just alike, and they are friends. But I didn't know until I found out today that Bill Belichick and Nick Saban worked together under, I think, Bill Belichick's dad at Navy. And then Bill Belichick hired, when Bill Belichick was the coach at Cleveland, he hired Nick Saban as his defensive coordinator. And then that year, at the end of that year, that's when Art Modell ended up moving the Cleveland Browns to Baltimore. So that's a little tad bit nugget that a lot of people might not understand and not grasp because of the fact that Nick Saban and Bill Belichick has like a really, really, really close relationship. Now, in total, Nick Saban's college career record is 297, 71 losses, and 1 tie. Assuming he doesn't retire, he could finish number 5 on the all-time win list with 112. He has 112 behind all-time leader Joe Paterno of Penn State. Now, I always thought that, me personally, I always thought that Nick Saban was going to stay to break Joe Paterno's record, and he could have easily do it. I mean, he could easily do it, but it would have taken a lot of years. So, but I mean, like I said, I was never an Alabama fan. I was an Alabama fan when Paul Bear Bryant was the coach during that time. But when Nick Saban took off and Alabama was just one of those teams that they was like the New England Patriots. They was just like the New England Patriots. I mean, just a dominant team. You every year you would always expect that Alabama would be in the playoffs. Alabama would be playing for a national championship. It was just that way. And at that time, during that era, it was Alabama, Clemson, and everybody else. Then you see Clemson started to fall by the wayside a little bit, and you saw some of the cracks because this is a new era we coming into, and I think with the NIL and the transfer portal, I think it's a little too much for Nick Saban to keep up. Now, he might have somebody in mind that he wants to take his spot. Who knows? But nevertheless, Um, Nick Saban, I mean, he's been a great coach, man. I really can't say too much for it. I always root against Alabama. But his shoes are going to be hard to fill. I can tell you that it's going to be hard to fill. A lot of names been coming out. Dabo Sweeney, Dan Lanning from Oregon. But I'm telling you, the two names that jumped off for me was um, Lincoln Riley for USC and Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin served as his offensive coordinator for I think one season when Alabama had lost to Clemson in the national championship game, and the next year Alabama went out and got Lane Kiffin, and then they won the national title that year. So, and then when Lane Kiffin left to go to Ole Miss, they ended up getting Bill O'Brien. And now Bill O'Brien is with the New England Patriots because he left there under Bill Belichick to go. Nick Saban to go to be with Bill Belichick. So that's the history of Nick Saban. But I will also, excuse me, I already compiled a clip in my breaking news on bulletin along with this monologue. So you could watch this monologue, get some information. Then you can watch a little Nick Saban videos and hear everybody talk about Nick Saban. But again, the college football world has been shaken up, and Nick Saban, 72 years old, has retired from the University of Alabama. This is Livewire Sports Media, signing off. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you the next time.